What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. On this episode, we'll be talking about when you should be selling your stocks. This is because this past few weeks, there's been a lot of tech IPOs that have been released to the public, and a lot of you have bought in and are seeing a lot of red in your portfolio. So this, I think, is a good time to talk about when you should sell your stocks. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Romel, and on this channel we talk about all things related to personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We discuss mindsets, strategies, techniques, and resources to help you in your journey to build wealth. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. We produce new content every week. Alright guys, so when should you sell your stocks? Well, before that, let's talk about how you buy your stocks. In theory, all investors should be doing their due diligence and looking into the company's background, financials, and new initiatives that they're going to take on before you start investing your money. You shouldn't listen to forums or a lot of hype on stocks and the market, because ultimately whatever other people say doesn't really affect it's not their money that they're investing, it's your money. So you should always do your due diligence before you start investing. Likewise, I'm not a financial planner, so what I am doing, or a financial advisor, so all this information is for entertainment purposes only, but this is one of the mindsets that I use when I look into stocks and when I'm looking to sell my stocks. Alright, so there's three scenarios that you should think about when you're selling your stocks. The first is what type of investor you are. If you're a long-term investor like myself, then the other two things are things that may or may not come into play when you're looking to sell your stocks. Or are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Are you a scalper? Those are all other types of trading profiles or trading strategies that people use. So you have to see what your trading or your investing type or style is, and take that into account when you're selling your stocks. Some people trade the news, so if they see that a stock or a company has done a big merger, then usually a stock price will go up. So they'll wait for the news to come out, wait for the stock to increase a little bit and then sell so that they get profits right away. That's just one example. You have to understand what type of investor you are, and what type of rules you're gonna abide by when selling and buying stocks. All right, the second thing is what's going on in your life. So if you don't have anything dire and that you don't need the money for, then keep the money in there. If you have an unforeseen surprise or expense or a medical emergency and you need money right away, then selling your stocks is a good way to get your capital fast. Obviously, depending on how soon you bought your stock, there's different types of taxes that you need to pay. If it's a short sell, if you're holding it for less than, I think, 60 days, then there's you get taxed a certain amount versus whether you hold it for long term. Also, on that note, you have to see where you're trading. If you're trading or you're investing money that's in a tax-advantaged account, such as a Roth IRA, then that's one thing. Or if you're doing a tax-deferred account with something such as a 401k, you have to keep those things into consideration. If you are looking to pull out money and sell your stocks, then there may or may not be penalties. So you have to take a look at what type of accounts you have your stocks invested in. All right, and then the third, which I think is the most relevant, is how is the company performing? So, a lot of people see that their stock has dropped and they'll sell right away. And one thing that everyone says is that when you sell, you lock in your losses because there's no opportunity for the stock to go up in value. At that point, whatever the stock has decreased in value is what it is. So you're not going to get, there's no opportunity to get that money back. How the company is doing, let me expand on this a little bit more broadly. So what I mean by this is, has the company partnered with someone that you don't believe in? If they have, and you don't think that it's a good fit, then maybe it's a good time to sell. Has there been major changes in the company's management? So have they had a executive overhaul, or has the CEO stepped down? Or have they, brought in new people that you don't really understand or you don't believe in? That could be another consideration. If that's so, then that may be a good indicator for you to sell your stock. And some other examples could be, have they been caught up in fraud? One of the biggest companies out there, Enron, was caught, and they were charged for fraud. They were basically selling a product that didn't do what it was supposed to do. So if there's a big scandal or thing like that, then obviously, if you get to it right away, it's definitely a good sign that you should sell, because obviously frauds and companies that aren't producing what they say they're going to do is never a good sign. So those are some things that you should think about, right? Do you need the money right away? If you do, then what type of trader are you? Are you a long-term trader? If so, then let your money ride. But that said, if you are a long-term trader, but something in your life is happening that you need a big amount of cash right away, then maybe you should sell. But if not, then the third thing is, has there been anything that changed in the company's news or profile or dynamic? If not, if there's no news about partnerships or frauds or anything of that nature, if you're just seeing your stock price decrease because people are selling it, then that's not, I mean, it could be a sign for you to sell, but that's just market moving, and that's people taking profits. But if they have the same fundamentals as they did when you looked into the company and did your due diligence before investing your money, then why would you sell? You should only invest in companies that you believe in, and that's one thing that I do. And if there's no other reason to sell it other than, well, the price dropped, $30, and I want to sell it because I think it's going to keep going down. Well, what's behind that? Are there, things that the company's doing? And if not, then I'd say look into it a little bit deeper. See if there is any underlying reason why that company's stock has changed. But if not, then it's ultimately up to you. Sell it at your own leisure. But just think about that, right? Alright guys, that's all I have for this video. It's super relevant. I actually bought Snowflake at 2 times. I only bought 2 shares just to test the waters. I bought it when it IPO'd at around 270, and then I bought it again when it dropped to around 230. So my average cost is around 250. I'm going to wait until they announce their earnings report and see how the market reacts. Snowflake was one of the biggest tech unicorns that released. Initially, it was supposed to IPO at around $75 to $85, and then a few days before the release, they said that the stock price increased to $120, and then when it actually released, it released at around $250, and at its peak, it went up to $310, I think, and now it's somewhere around at the time of this video at least, it's somewhere around $220. So there's been a big shift in values for that company. I'm a long-term investor. I only have two shares of that company, so I'm just going to let that ride, and I'm going to see how the market reacts. See how it performs over time, and understand their financials a little bit better. All right, guys. Hope that was helpful for you. That's some insight that I have when thinking about when I sell my stocks. I think those are all reasons that you should consider. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have other metrics that you look at, or thought processes or strategies or techniques that you use when deciding whether or not to sell your stock. I'd be interested to hear about it. And if you'd like to connect with me on other social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I'll leave links in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.